Year, everybody. Welcome to the Quintiverse. My name is Quinn, and I wanted to kick off 2026 with a bang. So today, I want to talk about my favorite video game character of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog, and answer what might be the most important question every Sonic fan is asking right now. What is the next mainline Sonic game? Now in this video, I'm going to go over everything we know so far. The news, the rumors, and I'll even speculate a little bit myself on what I think Sega might have in store for Sonic fans going forward. Before we get into that, though, I encourage each and every one of you to hit that like button. Greatly helps our channel. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Turn on that bell for all notifications so you guys will know either when I'm uploading or streaming. Follow me on social media as Twitter, aka X, and Instagram for all kinds of news and updates about the Quintiverse channel. Alright guys, let's start this new year off right. To start things off, I want to talk about how Sonic actually had a pretty solid year in 2025. The biggest release, in my opinion, was Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I honestly think was the best racing game of the year, with Kirby Air Riders being a close second. And just for the record, I still think Mario Kart World winning best racing game over Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is absolutely insane. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. You know, the Game Awards, they could be something, you know. We also got Sonic Rumble, which is a party-style battle royale game with a similar vibe to Fall Guys. I actually did a full review on that game, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll have it linked on the channel. And while it wasn't a brand new game, we also got Sonic X Shadow Generations on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the original release came out back in October of 2024, but this new port allows fans like myself to enjoy the beautiful remake of Sonic Generations, along with the absolute incredible addition of Shadow Generations on Nintendo's newest system. So you can play it while docking it, you can play it on the go, you can play it in portable mode, which I do a lot with my Nintendo Switch 2, so there you go right there. And it wasn't just the games either. The IDW Sonic comics continue releasing new editions and new issues, expanding the Sonic universe even further. We also got a Sonic and DC crossover featuring characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. interacting with Sonic, Tails, Shadow, and the rest of the cast, which is still wild to think about, you know? Now, I'll admit, I was personally hoping for a little bit more in 2025, you know? Maybe a remake of the classics like Sonic Heroes, which you guys have to know I'm a huge fan of, you know what I mean? Or even an announcement of the next mainline Sonic game. I honestly thought we might see something at the Game Awards, but clearly I was wrong, just like a lot of other Sonic fans. That being said, now that 2026 is finally here, I'm really hoping we start seeing more announcements and maybe even new releases, especially since 2026 marks Sonic's 35th anniversary, which that means this is a huge year for the franchise, and I'm hoping Sega has something special planned. Now, we've heard a few important things directly from the developers. The head of Sonic team, Takashi Iizuka, spoke to BBC News about the future of Sonic. He confirmed that the Sonic team does not plan on remaking older games like Sonic Adventure. Instead, they want to put all that energy into brand new Sonic titles with more complex and interesting worlds. Now, that pretty much tells us that remakes of games like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 or Sonic Heroes are likely not happening anytime soon, unfortunately. But another really important take Izuku confirmed is that Sonic team plans their games using a long-term roadmap, meaning they allocate resources based on what they want to develop and when, meaning the next several Sonic projects are already probably planned eternally, even if we haven't seen any teasers or announcements, you know? Now, this is important because Sega has a habit of surprising fans. For example, last year they didn't just release a fan favorite like Sonic Generations, they expanded on it by adding an entirely new shadow-focused story. So while they may not be remaking older games, they could still expand on existing ones in meaningful ways, you know? That being said, I do think Sega missed some opportunities, you know? Imagine if we got a Sonic Unleashed remake on modern consoles and PCs from Sega. Technically, we already got something like that from the fans because we got Sonic Unleashed Recompiled, which is an unofficial PC port, and that alone shows how much people still care about that game. And yes, Sonic Unleashed is my favorite game. It's my favorite Sonic game. There we go. Now, let's talk about some of the rumors surrounding the next mainline Sonic game. Now, the biggest rumor right now is that the next Sonic game will be a sequel to Sonic Frontiers. Even though Sonic X Shadow Generations released in 2024, Sonic Frontiers is still the most recent mainline Sonic game story-wise. Since it takes place after the events of Sonic Generations, the game originally released in 2022, and at the time, it was easily the best 3D Sonic game we have gotten in years. Now, Sega released a free update called The Final Horizon, which completely changed the ending. This update lets you play as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, while Sonic attacks new trials to convert cyber corruption into power, leading to Sonic ascending to a brand new form, which is Super Sonic 2. Super Saiyan 2. As both a Sonic fan and a Dragon Ball fan, I was absolutely hyped, you know? And they even went a step further by giving Sonic a 100% power up by channeling all the cyber corruption into 100% into a new cyberistic form. You can tell Sega is putting a lot of stock on Sonic, especially of how powerful they're making him. They did the same thing with Shadow, giving Shadow more abilities and forms, tying back to his origin. And the reason why all this matters is because Frontier sequel is rumored to be in development, with a possible release around November 2026, which lines up perfectly with Sonic's 35th anniversary. Now, fans are speculating that the sequel would feature more refined open worlds, better platforming integration, and improved level design, you know? Frontiers wasn't perfect by any means. The level design definitely needed work, but that also means Sega has a huge opportunity to improve. Now, if the rumors are true, I'd love to see an expansion on the combat mechanics, more distinct stages, a larger, more detailed overworld, and especially more playable characters. And I'm not just talking about Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. No. But I'm talking about also, along with Shadow, Rouge, Silver, Blaze, Cream, and more. Sega even started including their IDW characters in their games like Tangle, Whisper, and even Surge. And I would absolutely love to see them appear in the mainline Sonic games, you know? Heck, I wouldn't mind even seeing characters from the Archie Sonic era return. I love that comic series, you know? Like Sally Acorn or Bunny Rabbit, you know? Expanding the Sonic lore is something I'd love to see. And Sonic has always been about adventure and storytelling. Sega has really an open book here to expand on, and I'm hoping that they do expand on it. I want to touch up on one more topic before we wrap things up, and that's the other Sonic media we could be seeing in 2026 outside of just the games. In addition to the video games, we all know that Sonic is alive and well across multiple forms of media, including comics, movies, and potentially even more animated projects. And honestly, this is just another big reason of why 2026 could end up being a huge year for Sonic as a whole. Not just on the gaming side, you know? As I mentioned earlier, Sonic has been deeply involved in the comic world for years now, from the classic Archie comics to the current IDW run, and on top of that, Sonic has even crossed over with major companies like DC Comics. Speaking of the DC comic crossover, that collaboration is expected to continue in 2026, which means fans who are enjoying that storyline can likely expect more comic issues. That opens doors for even more interactions between Sonic characters and DC heroes. More stories, more moments, and potentially even more characters from both universes. That alone is something to really get excited over, you know? Now let's talk about the movies. As we already know, the fourth live-action Sonic movie is currently set to release in March of 2027. That means we won't be seeing it this year, of course. But it does mean that 2026 will probably be the year we start hearing more about it, like trailers, casting announcements, story teases, and behind-the-scenes details, all of that. And after the huge success of Sonic 3, which, by the way, when I took my wife to see it, she instantly became a Sonic fan right then and there. Fans are definitely eager for any kind of updates on what's coming next. There has been some insider reports and rumors about Paramount exploring additional live-action or hybrid Sonic projects beyond the main movie series as they continue to build out their own Sonic cinematic universe. Now, nothing has been officially confirmed yet, but studios usually get started with promotional campaigns as well ahead of releases, you know? So all we can really do is keep an eye on 2026 because I'm confident we'll hear something. Now, you might be wondering, why are we even talking about comics and movies in a video that's focused on the next mainline Sonic game? I'm going to tell you why. And the reason is simple. Sonic isn't just a video game franchise anymore, people. He's in books, comics, movies, and potential TV projects. And all of that helps build interest, hype, and momentum around the brand as a whole. That momentum absolutely influences what Sega decides to do with the games. I mean, look at this. We got Sonic 3, the movie, especially around the time we get Sonic X Shadow Generations. 2024 was the year of Shadow, no doubt about that right there. And the ongoing Sonic comics and crossover proves that Sonic's story world is much bigger than just the games. And that's a trend we'll almost certainly see going into this year, especially with the 35th anniversary coming up, giving Sega even more of a reason to push Sonic further than ever before. There's so much I want to see from the next mainline Sonic game, you know? More characters, a brand new story, new locations, maybe even some returning ones. More depth across the board. And if I had to guess, I think the next Sonic game will build on the open zone concept from Sonic Frontiers, but in a more polished and cohesive way, you know? Sometimes that expands not on the gameplay, but the characters and the story as well. And if Sega times this right with the 35th anniversary, 2026 could be one of the biggest years Sonic has ever had. What do you think the next Sonic game will be like, you know? Do you want more open world exploration? A return to the boost formula? Classic adventure style gameplay? Or even maybe the Sonic team based gameplay mechanics? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Greatly helps out our channel. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Turn on the bell for all notifications so you guys will know either when I'm uploading or streaming. Follow me on social media. That's Twitter, aka X, and Instagram for all kinds of news and updates surrounding the Quintiverse channel. Whew! I'm gonna love this year. Hopefully this year will be fantastic for the Quintiverse. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you guys, woo, gotta go fast, yeah, in the next video. I'll see you guys, God bless, and Happy New Year, woo!